pleasant good morning to all. I am Tekla Jabatis, the National Immunization Manager. Minister of Health, Wellness and Elderly Affairs, Honorable Moses Jabatis, Spain Ambassador, His Excellency Fernando Alvarez, the Honorary Consul for the Government of Spain to St. Lucia, Mr. Richard Peterkin, our Pan-American Health Organization Country Program Specialist, Mr. Reynold Ewit, the Permanent Secretary, Ms. Jenny Daniel, the Chief Medical Officer, Dr. Sharon Belmar-George, other invited guests, a pleasant good morning. St. Lucia received an allocation of Janssen's vaccines through the COVAX facility. This allocation was donated by the government of Spain. Today, we are here to witness the official handover of this generous donation of vaccines to the government of St. Lucia. This donation of vaccines provides another option of COVID-19 vaccines in our fight to end the pandemic. It is indeed an honor to welcome you to this ceremony. At this time, I would like to call on Dr. Sharon Belmar-George, our Chief Medical Officer, to deliver the opening remarks. Welcome, Dr. George.
Good morning to all. Minister for Health, Wellness and Elderly Affairs, Honorable Moses Jabatis, Spain Ambassador, His Excellency Fernando Alvarez, Honorary Consul for the Government of Spain to St. Lucia, Mr. Richard Peterkin, PAHO Country Program Specialist, Mr. Reynold Ewit, Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Health, Ms. Jenny Daniel, and other invited guests. We've noted that for St. Lucia, as of January 6th, we've diagnosed 14,232 cases in country, with 629 active cases presently. We've also noted 305 COVID-19 deaths. At this point, we have 23 positive cases admitted at the respiratory hospital. As is well known at this point, we are also managing our fifth wave from December 16th with over 1,000 cases if we are to include today's data from that period. As we go into the third year of managing COVID-19, we can fairly admit that COVID-19 is not new. We have managed 4 waves with 3 variants and have the experience and local data to accurately enough make sound recommendations to control and reduce the impact. The magic lies in the balance between health and safety and economic livelihoods to allow us to live safely with COVID. Today in 2022, thanks to the support of the COVAX facility, the Pan-American Health Organization, the first to ensure that vaccines are available to low and middle-income countries in a timely manner, and supportive, friendly governments like Spain, we are in a much better place in moving to normalcy. On behalf of the Ministry of Health, Wellness and Elderly Affairs, I thank you for the contribution of Spain in ensuring our receipt of 7,200 doses of the Johnson & Johnson vaccine on December 28, 2021. Although vaccine hesitancy remains a major issue for us, with only 27% of our population fully vaccinated, we are committed to implementing new community-based strategies and more intense collaborations to improve vaccine coverage. This donation will definitely assist us in targeting those with a fear of needles and our homeless and mentally ill as well that are difficult to follow up for second dose vaccines. We are also hoping that with the increased vaccine coverage, less restrictions and confinements, this can also support our more targeted interventions in 2022, which should have reduced impact on major sectors and services. Once again, sincere gratitude from the people of St. Lucia.
Thank you, Dr. George, for your remarks. I would now like to call on Mr. Reynold Ewit to deliver remarks on behalf of the Pan American Health Organization. Welcome, Mr. Ewit.
Thank you, Madam Chairperson. Good morning, everyone. Minister of Health, Wellness and Elderly Affairs, Honorable Moses Jean-Baptiste, Spain Ambassador, His Excellency Fernando Alvarez, Honorable Consul for the Government of Spain to St. Lucia, Mr. Richard Peterkin, Permanent Secretary, Ms. Jenny Daniel, Chief Medical Officer, Dr. Sharon Belma George, and other invited guests. Good morning again. I am pleased to be here this morning to welcome you and to make brief remarks on behalf of the Pan American Health Organization, World Health Organization, and the representative to Barbados and the Eastern Caribbean, Dr. Gabriel. I extend warm and Happy New Year greetings to the government and people of St. Lucia on his behalf. Today, we are here to hand over 7,200 doses of Jenssen vaccine to the government of St. Lucia, thanks to the solidarity of the government of Spain. COVAX and the Pan American Health Organization today, we recognize that this batch of vaccine will add to the AstraZeneca and Pfizer to give additional choices to the population to protect themselves and their family against COVID-19. The COVAX facility is committed to equitable access and distribution of vaccines globally. The COVAX mechanism is a global effort between the Coalition for the Promotion of Innovations for Epidemic Preparedness, the Global Alliance for Vaccine and Immunization, UNICEF, the Pan American Health Organization, and the World Health Organization. Fellow St. Lucians, you now have multiple choices to choose from. Be wise, be smart, be a true St. Lucian. Show how much you love your friends, your family, and the stranger next to you and this country by taking your vaccines. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Ewit. The Pan American Health Organization continues to be a key partner in the procurement, in the provision of vaccines to St. Lucia, and likewise in our fight in this pandemic, in providing us with an opportunity for us to always procure COVID-19 vaccines. At this time, I will call on Mr. Richard Peterkin, who is the Honorary Consul for the Government of Spain in St. Lucia, to introduce the ambassador.
Thank you, Tekla. Minister, CMO, PAHO Representative, PS, it's a great pleasure. As you know, the ambassador of Spain to St. Lucia is resident in Trinidad, and for obvious reasons could not be with us here today. But we've arranged to have him live from Trinidad, and it gives me great pleasure to introduce His Excellency Fernando Nogales Alvarez, the ambassador of Spain for St. Lucia.
His Excellency Alvarez, are you hearing us? Okay, our apologies. We're experiencing some technical difficulties. We're trying to get connected to His Excellency Alvarez. So at this point, we will call on our Minister for Health, Wellness, and Elderly Affairs, Honorable Moses Jabatis, to deliver his remarks. Welcome, Minister.
Good morning, everyone. Let me say a pleasant good morning to His Excellency Fernando Alvarez. Greetings to Honorary Consul for the Government of Spain to St. Lucia, Mr. Richard Peter King. Our Pan-American Health Organization Country Program Specialist, Mr. Reynold Ewit. Permanent Secretary, Ms. Jenny Daniel, Chief Medical Officer, Dr. Sharon Belma George, other invited guests. I wish on behalf of the government and people of St. Lucia to thank the government and people of Spain for this gift. Thanks to the COVAX facility and all those who manage this facility, to the Pan-American Health Organization, the World Health Organization, and all who collaborated to ensure that St. Lucia received this very important gift. This Jenssen vaccine will assist St. Lucia to penetrate even further vaccine coverage in our population. As the Chief Medical Officer indicated a while ago, we have challenges in St. Lucia with vaccine hesitancy. And hopefully this additional tool will help us, and we are hoping that some of our people in St. Lucia who are fearful of the needle will use this opportunity to access this vaccine. The government of St. Lucia pledges to intensify the mobilization of the population so that our vaccine uptake can be much better in the next few months. The government of St. Lucia pledges to provide resources to help our health professionals to reach all who need and want the vaccines. In the future, in the near future, we envisage increased vaccination coverage throughout St. Lucia. We also envisage a situation in St. Lucia where we continue to learn to adjust, to learn to live with COVID-19, and to learn to ensure that the management of COVID-19 and the preventative strategies find themselves rooted in our communities, and we hope to ensure that our health and wellness centers become the fulcrums or the nucleuses of the fight against COVID-19 within the communities. So let us get vaccinated let us all join in solidarity with our brothers and sisters throughout the world and all those who make sacrifices to ensure that their tax dollars contribute to our health and wellness in St. Lucia. I wish to thank the government and people of Spain once again, and wish to thank everyone, so that our people in every corner of St. Lucia understand what is happening here. Moi vle di ki jodia, sa nou ka we jodia, se nou jwen un cadeau sorti gouvernement Espagne, avec en anglais nou ka di the government and people of Spain. Avec ça yo fait yo ban nou a lot qualité vaccine ki nou ka kouye Jenssen vaccine. Avec vaccine ça là, moun ki pèse djoui, si moi a dit ki l'année a chay moun ki pèse djoui, avec peut-être moun ki vle yon pitché seulement, ça c'est un vaccin qui a aidé nous avec ça. Gouvernement cette ici qui a dit merci pour World Health Organization, merci pour PAHO, Pan American Health Organization, avec Jodia, nous ni M. Peter King ici qui a représenté gouvernement Espagne, nous ni aussi M. Reynolds Ewit qui a représenté Pan American Health Organization, avec nous a dit merci en chay pour cadeau qui nous joignent. Gouvernement a dit que nous avons des difficultés en cette ici parce que nous avons chaque monde qui peut trouver vaccin avec nous avons travaillé wed à ces mois qui va venir pour aller en toute commune en cette ici pour bailler monde qui veulent prendre vaccin avec pour encourager plus monde pour prendre vaccin parce que nous avons qui monde qui vacciné yo pas ka venir malade autant comme monde qui pas vacciné avec plusieurs ces monde malheureusement qui ka mort c'est moun qui pas vacciné. Encore ça pas veut dire si on est vacciné ou pas kay malade, mais ça c'est docteur médical qui a dit si on est vacciné, on a plus bonne chance pour si on est Covid pour vivre la vie qui primaire. Pour ça nous encourager tout le monde pour venir ensemble pour aider ministre là avec aider corps nous avec famille nous pour goumer ça fait Covid-19 là. Et encore moi remercier gouvernement Espagne et moi remercier PAHO avec World Health Organization avec tous ces gens qui ont aidé à bataille Covid-19 là. On travaille ensemble avec un goumer à faire Covid-19 là ensemble. Merci Anchai.
Thank you, Minister, for your remarks and re-emphasizing the importance of COVID-19 vaccines to our fight in this pandemic, and also for reminding us of the commitment of the government of St. Lucia in the smooth rollout of the vaccine, COVID-19 vaccine implementation. At this time, we have with us His Excellency Alvarez, and I would like to call upon him to deliver his remarks on behalf of the government of Spain. His Excellency.
Okay, you can go ahead.
Hello, good morning. Good morning and Happy New Year. Hello? Yes. So hello, good morning. Happy New Year to everybody. This is Fernando Nogales, and the ambassador of Spain to Trinidad and Tobago, also accredited to St. Lucia. So it is for me a particular pleasure and a source of pride to participate in this Handover Ceremony, although in this virtual form. I really look forward to traveling soon to St. Lucia to present my letters of credence. Today happens that it's the day of Epiphany, when Spanish children wake up with trepidation to see if the three magic kings have left them gifts under the Christmas tree or at a privileged place in their homes. It is serendipity that today we are celebrating that Spain is rising to the occasion and providing St. Lucia with much needed vaccines. I very sincerely appreciate the Ministry of Foreign Affairs of St. Lucia, show of affection. I also want to salute the daily work of our honorary consul to St. Lucia, Mr. Peterkin, who is very ably representing our country for very many years now and is assisting our citizens on a daily basis, even this very week with a very sorry incident. Finally, let me congratulate my deputy, Mr. Fernandez, who has done a very efficient liaising job. Spain was a country that went through a particularly sobering experience during the first phase of the pandemic. However, those months reinforced our commitment to provide those countries in need with vaccines as soon as circumstances would allow. This is why my parliament very readily and quickly endorsed in the spring the offer of my Prime Minister to donate vaccines to countries in this continent as a whole, doing away with our pre-existing inclination to limit our actions to Portuguese or Spanish-speaking countries. My citizens are particularly happy that this effort is now being extended to other regions around the globe to the tune of 50 million vaccines to be delivered before the end of the first quarter of this year. We are happy to report, unwittingly and much to our surprise, that Spain has become the second largest donor of vaccines to this continent, and that we have also become very significant donors in other parts of the globe. Our policy not to put too high a threshold as far as the size of the recipient countries seems to have paid off. This effort is also consistent with the unanimous agreement in our parliament that multilateral efforts to deliver vaccines very concretely through PAHO and COVAX are key to our success. Let me underline the unanimous, because since when this initiative was thought out, there was a logical foreboding lest the announcement might trigger such a negative reaction did not happen, and the result is that notions such as vaccine nationalism are strange to us, and we are thus working hand in hand with the EU and other European partners under the Team Europe approach. At the same time, events like the emergence of the Omicron variant have proved that unless there is a truly global response to the virus, there will be no effective end to it. We are perfectly aware that not everything has been either perfect or complete by any stretch of the imagination. We cannot drop our guard, but rather we have to keep working, following objective criteria, notably the epidemiological needs on the ground as assessed by the authorities, working in tandem with the already mentioned international actors. Let this year be a very happy one for the people of St. Lucia. Thank you so very much. Over to you.
Thank you, His Excellency Alvarez. At this time, we will have the official handover. It's a pity, His Excellency, you can't be here in person to do this. So I would like to call on our Spain representative, Mr. Peterkin, our Honorable Minister, and Mr. Ewit to do the official handover. So you come up. We'll do that. Thank you. Again, the government of St. Lucia thanks the Pan American Health Organization, PAHO, and the government of Spain for making this donation of 7,200 doses of the Jenssen vaccines available to the people of St. Lucia. With that, we have come to the end of this short handover ceremony of the Jenssen's vaccine. On behalf of the Ministry of Health, the entire production team of NTN GIS, I just want to thank you and have a pleasant day.